those those colors. So here, let me show you. These are the colors that I have here. Red can be used for blending, and it can be orange also. We'll see if this orange is working good. I think it will work because this layer is almost set for few days. We haven't worked, so I think it will be good. We also have browns. You can also use browns for blending. And we'll also try with rose pink in some of the areas. So today we are doing blending with different colors. Let's keep it side. Okay, so let's try with yellow first, right? So I'm going to use yellow here, and I am only working on the areas where I feel like it's bright light. So if I can see this yellow is not giving me that good result, it is not blending nicely, so I am thinking to use this one, red. Let's see how will be the blending. Actually the colors are quite settled, so it will going to give me a fresh look on top. So here, wherever I feel like I am adding red, and at the same time, if you can notice, there is a one line, so you can also focus on that line. You can use brown to darken that line, but that line should not be evenly dark. It should be on and off. On and off means it can be some places it can be visible, some places it can be just we call it a lost and found effect, right? So somewhere it is visible, somewhere it is not visible, that kind of work. So here I am using variations. So variation, how I'm using variations, for brighter tones I'm using red, and for lighter tones or for darker values I'm using brown, right? So I'm not going too dark too fast. Make sure never go too dark too fast. Keep variation in your areas. If there is no variation, so your paintings will look flat. So I retouch some of the area to make it dark, and then again I am adding colors here. See how when blending is possible. Blending is possible when the layers are fresh. Okay. So I kept this piece for at least I think more than 2 weeks. Okay, and we haven't worked in these areas. So what is happening? It is giving me fresh result on top. It is not blending old layers. So you have to put some pressure to blend old layers, or what you can do, simply use the blending stamps. Okay, or if you want to just bring those layers back, keep adding, keep adjusting the values. So here I'm randomly going on top and adding the colors. So what you have to see, value, which area is more dark, you add more darkness, which area is bright, you add more brightness. Like here is more like a orangish kind of red, right? So here I am going to add more orangish red on top. So add orange first randomly. Okay. And wherever I see the bright lines, I am using orange for that. It's not necessary you have to use orange, use any brighter red. If you don't have, so then mix the colors. Use orange first and then on top you can use red to make it more bright. Okay, and I'm doing this randomly. Now here again some brown, just to make sure I'm not losing those lines. These lines are really important. We call it a direction lines. If you don't have direction lines in your painting, so you will not able to feel it, feel the realism. Okay, you will not able to see where the lines are going, from where the lines are entering and how the lines are moving. That way you will not able to show twists and turns in your paintings. Okay. And don't try to do straight lines. Lines are not straight. Lines are wavy, lines are tilted, lines are different shape. Okay, let's say I worked on this area and now I need my blending stump because I will not able to blend with my pastels much. Why? What is the reason? Because my pastels are hard. I haven't done anything on this piece for more than 2 weeks. That's the reason I am using blending stump. Otherwise, I always work with um, like for blending, I just use oil pastels, purely oil pastels. Now what is happening, wherever the areas you have applied the color, it will going to give you a different result. And you blend in the direction of form. Don't try to blend downwards, it will not look good. So you have to always blend in the direction. So if this is the direction of petal, you just go this way. You can also use cotton bud for blending. And sometimes, see, this is also a good tool when we use blending stumps. So we already have some pigment in our this stumps, right? We also use it as a tool. So see, you still have some pigment in your blending stump, right? So this is also very important. We keep it, we save it for some of the paintings, right? So when we are doing tiny works and we need some pigment, so we use this pigment. So this is also important. Okay. So once I'm done with the darker areas, you first of all make sure you are only working in the darker areas. There is no shortcut of working on realism. You will only get the realism when you have focus, when you are patient, you have that patience within you, and you are not um, hurrying up with your work. If you just try to finish it, that I want to finish this piece, that way you will never get the results. You have to wait for some time, right? Many times in our painting we have to wait. Take a break from that area, again come back after some time, just see what is going on, and you will see new values in that area. Now once you do the blending part, again what we have to do, we have to focus on darkest dark, more darkest dark. No need to blend completely because we are going to do more layers on top, so it will automatically happen. Don't worry if you see some paper white. See how I'm blending step by step. I'm not hurrying up. Now here this value is quite bright and light also. What can we do to make it light? Let's see if I can use white here to make it light. So I'm not only going to use white on top, but at the same time I am going to mix it with orange again. Orange or red. Wherever I see the light tone, I can use this color, or you can check what else you have in your set. Anything lighter color you have, you can use that. Like you can try with this salmon pink. I have salmon pink here. I have peach color here. You can use this one. Um, so here I am continuously adding more and more darker layer. At the same time I am maintaining the lighter values. Make sure that your undertones are visible. If you are completely messing up with your undertones, nothing will be visible. You will be keep making your paintings flat. Okay? Here this line is quite dark. Don't randomly do anything on your own. Follow your reference images. It is very easy to just do the straight lines, right? That look unrealistic. So your painting, same painting can be, you can charge 1,000, or you can say you can charge just $50, or same workshop or same painting you can charge up to $100. So what is the difference? Difference is quality in the work. Difference is quality in the details. So clients pay for the details, right? Not just randomly doing anything and sharing. That will not going to help you. You are just wasting your time. So always keep in mind where I am putting that stroke, why I am putting that stroke. Are you following reference images, or are you just doing things on your own because you are procrastinating, or because you just you want to finish it off? Okay, so get out of all these things. Oops. Oh, I was mute. So sorry. Thank you, Vandana, for reminding. See, this line is not sharp. This line is not sharp, so I am going on top of this line and I will make it blur. See? Now it looks like when we work after adding oil pastels, when we work on that area, we blend or we do something, it becomes part of that subject. Otherwise your colors will look like it's just sitting on top. Don't try to put too much pressure, and do blending on the spot. No need to drag. So this is wrong. You don't have to do this. Okay, it should be blending on the spot. Let's say I'm working on this area, so I'm only blending this area. I'm working here, so I'm only blending this part. So we have to do blending on the spot. No need to drag. Here also this line is not this much crisp. It's looking very unnatural. So go on top of that line. So we are working on enhancing shades, right? I also have this color which is rose pink or maroon. Where's my rose maroon? Yeah, this is my rose pink. I can go on top this way to make some of the lines different. And dabbing on the spot. Your work should be like no one can copy. If you put different strokes on different layers, it is not possible for anyone to copy your work. So your work will be completely unique. See, we can change the colors, but values should be same. What are values? Darker should be darker, lighter should be lighter, medium tones should be medium, but colors you can change. Then I'm going to add some red here, and then again I will add some brown. So we are trying to create a variety. Just follow the overall thing what I am saying. So I am not making it completely flat. I am keeping variety in my work. First I am working on lighter values, then I am trying to go little bit dark, then I am trying to go more dark. Blending again going dark. See, now again I'll go more dark. And if you think you are not able to get more darkness with same color, switch your color. You can use different color. Now I can use this brown because I have added this brown multiple times, but now it is not working anymore. So it's time to switch the color. See, if your browns are not working, or if any color is not working which you feel like it should be there in your painting, you can pick any darker color. It can be violet, it can be dark maroon, it can be shades of blues, purples, it can be any dark color, right? But pick something dark. Now here are thin lines. So for creating thin lines, I'm going to use the back side of pastel, this one, because I need those tiny lines. See, still I'm leaving some of the base layers, right? I hope this is visible to you all. So how I'm trying to clean this area. Somewhere, even if you put a single dot, it can make a difference. see here, this area it's quite dark because this is the inside part of petal, right? And we haven't worked in this area, so I will show you how to do it, because we are adding now more darker layer. So this is how these lines are moving. These are direction lines, and then there are shades. Okay. At the same time, I'm going to work on this part also, which is sap green or olive green, you can say, or let's try with olive green first. So this part will be more and more dark, right? The inner part. So whatever you see in that area, you add it. Okay, so I can see the green part here. Just follow the line, shape, color, form, value, space, texture. These are the things that you have to follow. So I'm just following the what shape I can see inside. Once we work on this part, we have to again go or work on these areas to make it like a hollow thing. Okay, so even you can do dark with green around these areas. Should I zoom it a little bit so that you get idea? Just see how I'm building these shapes. If you see carefully, this top one petal is not completely bright yellow. It's a greenish kind of yellow. Right? And then this area, I can little bit go with green here, little bit, so that it create that balance, that it is starting from inside and moving outside. So that balance we can maintain when we are using same color here, and little bit of same color we can use in these areas. Okay, the outer part. Rest you can do it with any color which can make it more dark. So here I can use more and more browns, especially the center part. I'm talking about this part. So as we are working on this area, we have to finish this area. So at the same time, we have to work on this part also. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add green to all the areas where I feel like it's a green. So I'm using olive green. Okay. Try to go more dark around. So first what you can do, you can use blending stump. Use a fresh one or different one which you have used for green. So I'm going to use this one. And then first of all blend it. Blend the top layers. You don't have to blend deep or just don't disturb the base layers. Only blend the top layer. Because if you disturb the base layers, so you know that we have to do scratching technique at the end, and most of your painting will stand out just because of this scratching technique. So that will not happen, right? So I'm just blending the top layer. You can use the flat part of your blending stump. This way you can use it and try to blend the top layer. When we are working on small areas, we have to use this approach. I'm not going to make it hyper realistic, it will just be a close to realism. Now after this, see what are the areas you have to add more darker values. So I can see there are the areas which I can make it more dark. So this area I can add darker line. So sometimes when we are working on tiny areas and we want darkness in that area, so we have to press hard, okay, because we can't mess up with the other areas. So I am pressing hard here to get that color. Only these areas, right? Um, and then at the same time focus on the other areas where you can create that hollow kind of feel. So I'm working on these areas. See how I'm getting the thin lines, variations. Line is not same, somewhere it's hard, somewhere it's thin. Low pressure, high pressure, medium pressure we have to apply to bring those lines. and then applying on top this way. I am following the areas where I feel like it's a darker value. Because lighter values are already there, I'm adding darker values. Then again I'm going to use the blending stump to make these areas more darker with the help of blending. So slowly you have to work in a controlled way. If you are working and at the same time you are watching something or you are talking to someone, you will be spoiling your works. So whenever you do your work, sit in silence and keep working, keep observing what are the areas you need to add the dark and light. So that is, realism is not, um, you know, it's not easy thing. You will not get it easily, but you have to improve your observation skills. Okay. And then it's not like that I only work with brown. On top of brown I can also use some different color to make it different. So I can, on top of these values, I can also use I'm using rose pink. You can do that. And I'm not pressing hard, but I'm just applying on top. Once you apply again, then you can blend it. And smudge some of the lines. If you feel like any line is sharp, you have to smudge it. There is no line visible here, so I'm going to blend this line. So slowly we are getting depth here. And these lines which I added here, this will not be sharp. So again I'm going to go on top of these lines and will smudge it. So from where it is coming out, it should not be visible. So that means this area will go more and more dark, right? Now I'm going to use sap green and I'm going to apply here this much area. So I'm trying to make this area more and more hollow, and you will keep seeing me doing it, like it will give you a feel. The values plays a very important role. If you don't have a knowledge of values, if you don't have a knowledge of color mixing, um, so there will be not much difference. You will be still keep getting the flat results. Dark can be with any color. Now you can see I have switched to green to make it more dark, right? So darkness can be with any color. Now again what I'll do, I will go with my blending stump, this green one I have, and again I'm going to blend the area. So only blend the top layer, not the base layers. And while blending, if you feel like your colors are coming off, use a clear pot. See what is the power of blending when we do blending nicely, and it should look, it binds everything together. Okay, leaf will look like a leaf, but when you are just layering things and when you are blending things but separately, right? So now it's time to bind the things. So how we can bind it? You can use blending stump, you can also use pastels for blending. There should be no hard edges. So here you can see I can't see any kind of hard edges. Wherever I see, I am trying to blend it. Now this is helping me to make it as a part of a subject, right? And uh, I'm not blending it completely. At the same time, I'm taking care of that if there is any highlight, so I secure that highlight also, right? So how you can secure the highlight? First you work only on the darker area, or first you work only on the lighter parts, and keep the two blending stumps separately, one for darker tones and one for lighter tones. This way your tones will not blend. Otherwise what will happen, see, we have lot of pigment in our blending stump, so this can completely ruin your paintings. See, we have lot of pigment here, right? So make sure you are keeping separate. You can write it down for light orange or for light green, okay? So you can use those blending stumps again and again for lighter tones, darker tones. You use darker blending stumps. So you use it like a tool, don't throw it. So still I'm going to build more layers on top, so that's the reason first I'm making this blending, right? Now see, this origin part is not visible. I am adding details, but still that softness is there, right? I can't see any of the sharp edges here. So blend all the area where you feel like it sharpness is visible. So here mostly I blended these areas, and this will happen only when you are slow. Go slow, observe more. See, wherever I see that sharp edges or the origin of that part, I am blending that area, right? Because nothing is visible clearly. Again, I will add more green here. If you think you are not getting results, this green is not working, you can switch to any darker color. But I think one more layer I can go with this green again. I will add more green here. Okay, so now this green is not working much. Okay, so I can switch to another color. I can switch to brown, and on top of green I can add some brown to make it more hollow, to make it more depth. So here I'm going to use brown now. Refining things we are going to do later. Okay, and again I will with this brown I can add more here. use something more dark. So you have to keep thinking what dark I can use next. But don't go too dark too fast. So I have this violet color. Let's see if it makes any difference. So yes, at least it can give me some different results. So first thing is blend it. So when we do the blending, I can see what is the real value. We blend only top layer, not the base layers. My hand is light. So the inside part more darker, little bit outside, little lighter, more outside, more lighter tone, more outside, more brighter tones, right? It should go like this. Still here also I can add some white, make it more white. The ends are quite bright, although we have secured the bright tones, so we don't have to worry about that. And here this part. It will take some time to clean up these areas and to make these pollens and these antennas. So I'm only focusing on the areas which is coming from inside. So that means I am cleaning here. When we are working on any particular area, um, only that area will not give you a result, but when you work on outer areas, that will also give you results, right? So you don't work only cleaning inside part, you also work on cleaning outside areas. So here now instead of brown I used maroon to make it more dark. So darker can be with any color, right? See here the bottom part there is a shade of another petal. So we can mark that shade. To make it more dark, you can use any dark color on top. So on top of brown, this maroon, I can use brown to create more depth in that area, right? So see how I'm doing it. See, I got, now this petal is more visible. Why? Because I worked here in the base part, the shade area. Same way, if I try to work here, now one should be dark. Either this should be dark or this should be dark. So first of all, see your reference image, which one you can see the dark, or if it is not visible, so what area you can make it dark. Okay, so if I just see, even you add some lines, some dots, some dashes, it will going to create that difference, right? So I have this light line here, that is good, and here I am differentiating by adding some darker values in the back part of a pastel, like another petal. See? And same way we have to create the darker values from here to here so that it gives more round kind of feel. So you see, you have seen how much time we have spent it here, right? Little bit we can add more darkness, and I'm going to end here today. It can be any color to create any darker value. And if this color fails, I can use any other color. Right? But why I'm getting this kind of impression? Because under layers are also visible. I can also see one thin line, thin white line here. Here, let me add it. See, I just added few dots and it made a difference. But I don't want this line to be too long. Okay. Yes, so this is it for today, guys. We have done this much. I hope you can see it is already started looking like a realistic, and this we worked more on this part, right? So same way, when we spend more and more and more and more time in any particular area, you can create a hyper realism out of it, no matter what is a medium. Okay, but the thing is, if you spend, let's say, 1 hour here and you spend 2 hours here, so which one will be more realistic? Obviously, where you spend more time, right? So always keep in mind whenever you are working on realism with oil pastels, first thing is make sure you focus on the darkest dark, you focus on the medium tones and darker tones. These three tones will bring realism in your work. Then go step by step. That means always build layers from lighter to darker tone, right? And then slowly, once you are done with 5 layers, after 5 layers you did the blending, and then how we are going to build the layers? You add some color, you blend it. You another time you again add some color, you blend it. So then after fifth layer we have to work this way, right? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we are done with the session. Do you have any questions? No? Anyone else? Okay. Right. So now you work on this and keep sharing your work inside group, because I can't see any works now inside group. Only joining sessions will not going to help you if you are not practicing. So also find time for yourself and practice, right? When you are just seeing me doing, so you are just um, loading that information. You are not implementing that information. So it is important that you finish the thing. So here you can see this much we have done. Now next session we are going to work on this petal, these two petals, and still refining will be keep going on. So at the end we are going to work on this part, but at the same time we are going to work petal by petal, right? Yes. Okay, so this is it for session, guys. See you again in another session, and please keep sharing your works. Okay? Yeah. Uh, yes, Alice? Okay, right. Okay, so Alice, I will connect with you separately. Till then, you just work on that value, okay, darker value which I have sent you at the end, and it's done. I was just helping you to do more. Just that area, if you add more darker value, it will going to pop up, right? So just work on that and share with me, and then I'm going to show the time and date when we are going to connect, right? Yes. Okay. So, yes, let's end the session. Have a great day and keep working, keep practicing, and keep sharing your books. Okay? Yeah. Bye for now. Bye bye.